Hello everyone, I'm Frank, and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called German Squishmates by Ratfinks. And here are the rules. We have Squishdoku, where we need to place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every 3x3 box without repeats in any row or column. Cells on region borders dashed lines are shared between multiple boxes. So basically this, as an example, this is basically part of this upper left-hand box and this upper central box here. And so this, if there was a 3 here, there could not be another 3 in these 9 cells and not another 3 in these 9 cells. And of course, this digit is going to be in all 4 of the boxes that are partitioned by the dashed lines, right? So it's in this upper left-hand box, upper central box, left central box, and central box for this cell. And that's an example of how Squishdoku works. We have Dutch flatmates, where every 5 in the grid must have a 1 directly above it or a 9 directly below it. It may have both, but it doesn't need both. So say we had a 5 here. Then obviously a 1 would need to be directly above it, or 9 would need to be directly below it. And again, it could have both, but it doesn't need both. It just needs one of these or the other. And that's an example of how Dutch flatmates work. And finally, we have German whispers, where consecutive digits along German whisper line, along the green line, must have a difference of at least 5. And I like to call them whisper 5 lines because a setter came up with this, and I think it made sense from an extensibility ability. You can call them German whisper lines. I'll just call them whisper 5 lines. So, you know, it is the same, one and the same. It's more just a matter of preference, in my opinion, about what you can call it. But, for example, say we had a 3 here. Then this digit would have to be 8 or 9 because the only digits which are 5 or more away from 3 are 8 and 9. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay. So one thing you know about, you can, is it an intuition? I don't know how to describe it. It's something that you can deduce from basically just the math of it. But on whisper 5 lines, otherwise known as German whisper lines, again, I'll be calling them whisper 5 lines from now on, the only digit which cannot be on a whisper 5 line in normal Sudoku is a 5. Because subtract 5 or more from 5, what do you get? You get 0 or less, which is not a normal Sudoku digit. And if you add 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more, which is not a digit. So, you can never have a 5 on a whisper 5 line. But every digit in this central box is on a whisper 5 line except for 1. And again, you have to have the digits 1 through 9 once each in every 3x3 box. So, this has to be a 5 then. Similarly, you cannot have 4 or 6 next to 2 unique digits on a whisper 5 line. And these are in the same row. These are all just in the same box. It's just that basically the box is, certain cells can be in multiple boxes at the same time. So, since these are all in the same box, every digit on this whisper 5 line is going to have 2 unique digits that's in between except for the endpoints. So this must be 4 or 6, and this must be 4 or 6. Now 4 or 6 is next to 1 or 9 only, right? So if it's a 4, it's next to a 9. If it's 6, it's next to a 1. So therefore, this must be a 1, 9 here or a 1, 9 here to be next to the 4 and the 6. 3 and 7 have to be next. 3 has to be next to 8 and 9, and 7 has to be next to 1 and 2. Well, one of the 9s and one of the 1s are here, so this must be a 3, 7 pair, right? 3 has to be next to the 9 here, 7 will be next to the 1, and this must be a 2, 8 pair then. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by coloring these different colors. We'll start with this as pink and this as green, I guess. So then this must be pink. This must be green. Okay, so, and also, on a Whisper 5 line, you'll always alternate between low digits, which are the digits 1 through 4, and high digits, which are the digits 6 through 9. And the reason why you know that is 1 can only be next to 6 through 9. What digits can be next to 1 through 4? 1 can be next to 6 through 9, which is high. 2 can be next to 7 through 9, which is high. 3 can be next to 8 or 9. 4 can be next to 9, all of which are high. And it works the same way from the other way. If you have 6 through 9, what digits can be next to that? 6 can be next to 1, which is low. 7 can be next to 1 or 2, which is low. 8 can be next to 1 through 3. And 9 can be next to 1 through 4. So that means you can always alternate between low digits and high digits. So one thing I like doing for Whisper 5 lines sometimes is basically just choose a random color and alternate with that with another color. And then you can get some information based off of that, right? So these are all green. This must be pink. Let's make this actually orange. I usually designate 5s as pink, so, but... So, what else do we have? We have a 5, which must have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. Well, it can't have a 1 above it, so it must have a 9 below it. So all the greens must be high, and all the oranges must be low. So this is 9, this is 6, we have 7, 8, 9's next to 4, that makes 9 and 3 here, this is 2, and this is 1. Okay. Where is the 5 in this lower left-hand box? Cannot be here because of 5 in the column. Can't be here because of 5 already in that box. Because remember, these cells are shared by boxes. Can't be on the Whisper 5 line, so it has to be one of these two digits. So 5 cannot be here. Where is 5 in this upper left-hand box? Can't be here because of 5 in the column. Can't be here because they're in the same box as this 5. And can't be here because of 5 in the column. Can't be on the Whisper 5 line, so 5 has to be here. Okay. Where is 5 in this upper central box? Can't be here because of 5 in the column. Can't be here because of 5 in the row. So it must be one of these two digits here. Which means it must have a 9 directly below it. So it has to have a 9 in one of those two spots. Hmm. 5 in this right central box has to be one of these 4, but that's pretty broad. What else do we have? This 5 needs either a 1 above it or a 9 below it. So this one's done. We don't know about this. If this is 5, it needs a 1 above it. This 5 obviously can only have a 1 above it. And this 5 cannot have a 9 below it because we have a 9 in the box already. So we're guaranteed one of these digits must be a 1 to be above the 5 that's corresponding in one of these cells. This digit, if it's high, has to be 9 because it sees 6 in the same box, 7 and 8 in the same column. So either this is 9, and this is if it's low, cannot be 1 or 2, so it must be 3 or 4. That means this digit must be 8 or 9 if it's high, and if it's low, it can be 1 through 4. That's fine. Okay. What else do we have? 5 is one of these 4 in this lower central box. 5 could be any of these. Where is the 5 in this lower central box? Can't be here because of 5 in the column. If we have a 5 here, it cannot have a 1 above it, so it would need a 9 directly below it, but we already have a 9 in the box. So it cannot be 5 in either of these spots, which means it must be a 5 in one of these spots, which means 1 has to be one of these digits. So since 5 in this lower central box must be one of those, this cannot be 5, and the only place for 5 in this lower left-hand box is here. So this is 5, and that's 1. So the 5 has a 1 above it, which works. This can't be 1 because of 1 in the column, so this can't be 5, which makes this a 5. And that has a 1 directly above it. Which means this cannot be 5 here, so this can't be 9. So this must be 5 here, and this must be 9. Oops, that's pink. This is high. That means we need a 5 in this right central box now. Or actually, this upper left-hand box and up in this right central box, and it can only be one of these two. Because it can't be here because of the 5 in the box, can't be here because of 5 in the row, so 5 has to be one of these two. And it must have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. This is now low because it cannot be any other digit except for 3 or 4. And in fact, I think this also has to be 3 or 4 too, right? Yeah. This cell sees 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, either in the row or the box. So this has to be a 3 or 4. This then, remaining digits in box, the upper central box are 2 and 8. 3 and 4 can only be next to 8 or 9 on a Whisper 5 line. So this is 8 or 9 and is high. We need a 1 here or a 9 here. And this cannot be 9 because of 9 in the box, so this must be a 1 here. So this is low, which means it's next to a high digit on a Whisper 5 line, which makes this low, so that's 2, which makes that high as an 8. So this is 8, this is 2. This has to be, cannot be 6 or 8, but it could be 7 or 9. So this 5 is done also, because it has a 1 above it. Remaining digits up in this upper left-hand box. box. Actually, let's do this lower central box. We have 2, 4, and 6, 7. Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 7. This cannot be 2 or 6 because of 2 or 6 in the column. So this is a 4, 7 pair, which eliminates 4, 7 in the rest of the boxes that they are in. So this cannot have a 4 and 7 either here, right? This couldn't have a 4, 7 here because it's in that box, but it's also in this box here. So the remaining digits in this box now are 2, 3, 6, and 8. This can't be 3 or 8. 6 cannot be next, can only be next to 1 on a Whisper 5 line, so this can't be 6. So we're guaranteed one of these is an 8, which means this cannot be 8 here. Remaining digits in this upper left-hand box, we have 3, 4, 7, 9. And 7 cannot be either of these because of 7's in the row. This can't be 9 because of 9 in the row. We don't know what these are. 9 cannot be here because of 9 in the box. We have a 3, 4 pair in this left central box and in the upper left-hand box. So this cannot be 3 or 4, it's 7. This can't be 7, it's 9, which eliminates 9 from being here. So that's 8. 8 can only be next to 3 out of 3 or 4 on a Whisper 5 line. So that's 3, which makes us 4. So now this is high, these are low. We have 2, 6, 8 remaining in this left central box. 2 cannot be here because of 2 in the row, so 2 has to be here. So this is 2, which means this cannot be 2 here. It's a 3, 8 pair, which eliminates 3 and 8 in the rest of the box, so this can't be 2 or 3. It's 6, which eliminates 6 here, so that's 2 and 6 there. So the remaining digits here are high, and they have to be 7 and 8. This can't be 8 because of the 3, 8 pair in the column, so this is 7, which makes this 8. 3, 8 pair eliminates 3 here, so it's 4 and 3. This is high now. We have high here, and this is low. Where is the 6 in this lower right-hand box? Cannot be either of these cells, so it must be one of these two. Where is 5 in this? We have 5 there. Never mind. Where is 9 in this upper right-hand box? Can't be here because of 9 in the row. Can't be here because of 9 in the row. Must be one of these two. So this must be a 5, 9 pair. Remaining digits in this upper right-hand box are 1, 2, and 6. The only high digit out of that is 6. And you have to have high digit if you have 2 digits on a Whisper 5 line. So it must be 6 and 1 here. This can't be 1 because of 1 in the row. That makes this 6 and this 1, which leaves this as a 2. It also eliminates 6 from being here, so this must be 6 there. So this is high. These are low. This is high. What are the remaining digits in this right central box? They're 1, 3, and 4, which are all low. 4 cannot be either of these, so this must be 4 here. This can't be 1 because of 1 in the column, so this is 3 and 1 there. And we have remaining digits in the lower right-hand box. We have 2, 3, 7, and 9. Okay. 3 cannot be either of these. 2 cannot be either of these. So 2 has to be one of these two. And it cannot be here because of 2 in the row. So this must be 2 here. And is low, which makes this a high and makes that a low. So then this must be 3. 3 and 2 can only be next to 9 out of 7 or 9 on a Whisper 5 line. So this is 9, this is 7. 9 eliminates 9 here, so it's 5 and 9. And 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 8 and 3. And 7 eliminates 7 here, so it's 4 and 7. And that's how you solve it. Yeah, so Squishdoku has its own unique set of sort of intuitions that you can have. Um, this was a nice puzzle. It flowed very well. I'm usually not a big fan of Squishdoku. I don't know. I just don't know why. I'm not bad at it. Not like anti-knight move, but I just don't seem to enjoy it as much doing Squishdokus. But this was fine, and also I'd like to basically show more different types of puzzles in these Learn How to Sudoku series because it sort of exposes you to easier but just different rule sets, which is just sort of the hope that you guys get some enjoyment out of it, and you can decide what you guys enjoy for what type of puzzles you want to do, right? So maybe this is your cup of tea. It's not quite mine. I do enjoy an occasional one, but for overall, for the most part, Squish Doku's, I don't know, just doesn't do something for me. I don't know what. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.